right away because she's actually putting it in the oven for me.
I'd like to give just a really brief testimony while she's working on that. My triglycerides were over 200, as the good doctors were at one point. And so I decided to go off sugar. And I mean, I went off sugar. I would not eat anything that had sugar in it, unless it was in like bread or something like that. You couldn't help it. In 6 months, my triglycerides went from over 200 to 119.
Wow.
So if you are a sugar lover like I am, give it up. It's the best advice I can give you. Oh, I still am.
I got that.
You mentioned the salon cinnamon. What is that?
It's a very brittle cinnamon. If you compare it to what you're used to here in the States, usually you get like Mexican cinnamon, I think it is. And it's very hard. It's also very hard on your GI tract. Ceylon is also hard, but not as bad. And it has more medicinal properties.
Okay. Where could you get that?
I get mine at a health food store. Yeah, like I said, I don't use it often. I don't use it often because it still is hard, even though it has a medicinal value. It's hard on the GI. Okay. It's not something you want to overuse.
Okay.
One spice that you want to avoid because it's carcinogenic is nutmeg. And I felt so bad when I found that out because I love nutmeg. Okay, I gave it up.
I know talking about eyes. You know, people have macular. You know what that is? I got a hole. I do not have macular degeneration, but I got a hole in my macula. Just a little pinpoint. It's just leaking the fluid. And so it began to affect my eyesight. So I had to have a surgery, and they took all that out. And, put some in it. But so that's been 2 years ago now, maybe 3. And so I don't see good out this eye. I barely passed my driving test.
So I'm going to invite you to come and serve yourself here at the lemon table. She's going to demonstrate this dish.
The lemon
Did everyone put their name and email address on here? No? Everybody? Anita, did you?
Karen, can you have the
Did they ever find out what caused the hole?
It's just a age thing, they say. You know, just weakness back there. I mean, it took them forever to find it until they, got to the back of the eye and they could see. I mean, I can see, but it's not clear, And so I just wanted the lemon juice, and so when they redid it,
Can you fluff it?
it was kind of,
Kind
it was, so when they did everything, I saw a picture of it before and after. And so it's kind of rigid back there, and that's the reason I didn't see well. And I just wondered if lemon juice it wouldn't harm it, would it?
Well, no, it won't hurt it, but the lemon juice is mainly for bacterial infection.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I was asking if they knew what caused the hole in the first
I think
place.
it's an old, there's
Yes.
no, but I think it's an, they just say old age.
Yeah, they categorize everybody that when they don't know. So,
Okay, well, you answered my question.
yeah.
And I never heard that before.
Oh, it's got chickpeas in it.
If they catch it early like that and go in there and repair it, then your eyesight has better and returning to normal.
All right, so we're ready to demonstrate the other one. We're going to do a coconut curry. So we're going to start with approximately 2 to 3 cups of water, and then we're going to put in our sweet potato. That takes the longest to cook. With this dish, I always start with cooked garbanzo beans, and I want to talk a little bit about soaking. You want to soak all your legumes, your seeds, your nuts, your grains. The main reason for soaking these items is because they have phytates on them. God put a coating on these things so that they wouldn't just spontaneously sprout until the conditions were right. That's why they need water and sunlight, etc., etc. So with your legumes, such as the garbanzos, you want to soak overnight. Put approximately 1 inch to 2 inches of filtered water above. Soak them overnight, throw off that water, and then you can cook them. I incorporate a third step, and that's because I want absolutely no flatulence, no issues with my stomach for eating beans. And so I parboil them. So after I've soaked them, thrown the water off, I cook them for approximately 15 minutes on high, a roaring boil. Make sure there's sufficient water in there. Throw that water off and then put fresh water, bring it to a boil, and then put it down to about 4 or medium low, and cook it until soft. Generally speaking, if you soak overnight, garbanzos and black beans, about the same cooking time, it's going to be 40 minutes or less, and your beans will be done. I do it in huge batches, and then I measure it out in 2 cup measures into quart-size freezer bags. That way, in a pinch, I can throw it out. It thaws pretty quickly, and I can have this meal on the table in 30 minutes. Put my rice on first, and then I'm jumping to this. All right, so we have it on this. Unfortunately, I have one like this at home. It does take a while to get hot, but once it gets hot, then it takes a long time for it to cool down. So she's put in here, we have the water, the sweet potatoes, and the garbanzos. And you can put in your coconut milk.
Should the ovens on?
We're just going to put it in this because we're going to cook it. Okay. Yep.
What did you say, this reduces what?
What are you talking about?
Like, what's the benefit of this meal today?
Okay, so generally speaking, your garbanzos are good for so many things. It's high in fiber, is a good plant source of protein. Trying to remember all the health. I have it. I'll get it for you. 1 second.
We had it up on the screen yesterday,
Yeah, I did, but I'll actually give her some more detail.
if you have a copy of the presentation yesterday.
So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to post it. So I'm getting
Oh, the red rice? Yeah, it's a red rice. And I just did it for something different. Rick and I use it a lot at home. We actually even make like a veggie meat replacement with that, like ground beef. With that. And forgive me, my mind is really slow here today, but let's talk about garbanzos. Okay, here are the 10 benefits of garbanzos. Help control blood sugar. Chickpeas are naturally low glycemic. They contain a starch called amylose, which digests slowly. This fact, along with being a good plant protein source and high in fiber, helps to slow blood sugar levels and is an excellent food for diabetics. Number 2, it improves gut health and decreases constipation. Chickpeas have prebiotic properties. Naturally high in dietary fiber, particularly a soluble fiber called raffinose. It feeds the good bacteria in your gut. Studies have found that eating more chickpeas make bowel movements easier and more regular. When chickpeas, number 3, it lowers colorectal cancer risk. And that goes without speaking, but that is because of its high fiber content. It contains lycopene, which is very good for men, and saponins. Saponins are what makes a food kind of soapy. Do you notice when you're cooking some of the beans, it's like frothy? The saponins in that. But those two are they're known cancer-fighting compounds. Saponins and lycopene. It lowers risk of heart disease. The soluble fiber in chickpeas that they contain are good for more than just gut health. It also lessens total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol, ultimately lowering the risk of heart disease. It does a body good. It has a very good balance of calcium and magnesium to help build strong bones. It boosts mental health. Chickpeas have choline, B6, and B9, all important nutrients. Remember my husband's slide yesterday? He talked about all the vitamins your brain needs to be healthy, all the minerals, and a lot of the vitamins were all B vitamins. So this item is really high in B vitamins. Controls appetite and weight management. Again, it gives a satiation when you eat this. I know I'm probably overstuffing people. But you should be real full this evening. Chickpeas are also an excellent source of protein. We know that. I think that's a very common one that everybody knows. And it also helps to prevent iron deficiency. Just 1 cup of chickpeas per day, and you get approximately 26% of your daily recommended value of iron. And of course, it's an inexpensive, healthy food because you buy them dry, and even this, I found this at Walmart when I was walking out the other day. This was $1.12. So 1 can of chickpeas, and you really only need 1.5 cans to make that dish.
Is it best to use white rice?
White rice lacks some of the fiber and nutrients of whole grain rice. And so I always recommend, the rice that you have there, both are whole grain. One is whole grain jasmine rice, and the other one is
Red rice.
organic red rice. All right, so we'll continue. We're adding some poblano peppers. I didn't want to add any spice for people who don't like spice. And so we didn't add any seeds. And we add some ginger for spice.
What's curry with all those guys? What's curry with all those guys?
Tell people what?
She'll get it. Does anybody else want some more curry? No? I think they're all good. Oh, yeah, we need some for Sister Judy here.
Yeah.
Take first.
Versus being spicy.
The Jamaican hot pepper has a flavor.
Yeah, but it's also hot.
If you get seeds, but the flavor is there.
It's like poblano. If you don't, they're a mild pepper anyway. But for some of these, if you don't get the seeds, it's really tasty.
Right.
But you get that seed, you're gonna, yeah. My wife got one of the Scotch bonnet seeds caught in the fold in the throat. That was rough.
We use a lot of flavor.
All right, and we can add all the other remaining items. We're doing a whole large red onion, a large thumb of ginger. We did a whole bell pepper here too. And we did approximately 3 cups of cauliflower. In the recipe, I only said 2, but we wanted to make it extra special. Cauliflower is like that. Alright, so we're going to put about 1.5 teaspoons of turmeric in this. That's fine. You did already.
I want to encourage everybody to save your fork and spoons.
Uh-oh.
With each thing, save them. We're running out.
Sorry. Okay, and some cumin. I don't know, that's a favorite spice for me to add with any beans. I always add it. Okay, and to this amount, I'm going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. Okay? And we're going to actually finish cooking it over there. Just wanted to demonstrate it here. And we'll move on to the next thing. Thank you, Sister Judy.
I especially like the red rice.
Question.
You want to wait till I get the other one?
Question. You use turmeric instead of curry. And
Yes, I use turmeric instead of curry. Most curry have in black pepper. Also a very harsh spice on the stomach. It actually burns holes in the stomach, not just irritate it like cayenne or cinnamon. It actually burns little holes in the stomach.
But if you can find it without black pepper, it's wonderful. If you can find it without the black
Oh, I know, but I told the girls, yeah. No, I'm just saying.
You could have said curry, and then you would have mentioned black pepper.
You read it? Okay. Well, if you can find it without the black pepper,
I just wondered if it was the difference between curry and.
there is a little bit.
Okay, we just have one last dish to,
Turmeric has no anti-inflammatory properties to it.
How many times should we chew our food? I know that's terribly important. I know I had one of the kids I went to school with in elementary school, his mother made him chew every bite 100 times. But
That's a little excessive.
yes, it is.
It really depends on the food. If you're going to eat like a veggie meat, you really need a minimum of 40. A minimum. This curry dish, I would say a minimum of 40. So it really depends on the consistency of it.
And as a nurse, I learned to eat entirely too fast.
Yeah, most people do because of work or school.
And I can tell you,
Until it becomes a liquid in the mouth. One principle I usually tell them I talk to is chew your water and drink your food.
chew water.
Well, most people don't like to drink water because they have to go to the bathroom a lot.
Yes.
But if you take water and swish it around in your mouth and mix it with your saliva, it opens up digestion and shuts down the kidneys. Where if you just drink and guzzle, it's putting a whole lot of pressure on your kidneys. So if you just take your water, push it in your mouth, that's why I say eat your water and drink your food. Your food should be thoroughly masticated so it's almost liquid.
Too bad.
Too bad.
I just inhale mine. I tried to chew more, but you know, all the spices and everything that I use practically daily, they're telling me now that it's rough on my stomach. I said, I have got my stomach. I have heard about it, but I sit on my table and practically everything that I eat, I dump some curry on. So am I supposed to not do that anymore? At my age, what's the difference?
We're all free-boiled ages.
How long does it take you to chew your water? A glass, an 8-ounce glass of water?
That's a very good question. Basically, the first mouthful is all you really need. Because like I said, that opens up to the pathways to the stomach versus the kidney.
So you don't have to do that with
No, you don't have to do that very much. No.
It's gonna take a while.
You know how much he's working, the slide is just pouring out of me, so
It's just like,
it's a good thing.
it's just like, that's the red light on your dashboard that something's not right on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I get to go to glory sooner than I planned then.
Well, you're not going to Jesus, so we can always pray to that end. Oh, okay. That's a good way to put it.
all right. So this is actually actually my last recipe, also another favorite of ours. Typically, I will use the whole grain bulgur. But my husband found it for me, but like literally 20 minutes before the class started. And so we decided to do Far East, which is a really quick version. Of course, I followed the directions on here. So I won't be adding a lot of seasoning to this because this actually comes with a seasoning mix. And I don't want to over-season. The seasoning mix has mint and everything in it. I will add a little bit more mint. And bulgur is really cracked wheat, if you ever heard of cracked wheat. It's the same thing.
What are we fixing now?
Good question. Dear, what's the dish?
Oh, sorry, tabbouleh. Tabbouleh. And I'm adding here some nice ripe tomatoes. A little bit more mint.
Before that. And we're So every now and then we still tease her. She just said it like something.
I'm putting cucumber and some black olives.
See, look at her. Oh, no.
And a little bit of bell
You don't get me in trouble. Oh my goodness.
A little one. I'm also adding garbanzos to this because you could eat it as a, you could eat it just as is. All right, so this is just some bell pepper for color. And unfortunately, I went and cut my lemon, so I'm gonna just have to squeeze them, get no hits.
So any kind of black olive?
I usually prefer the one that's just in sea salt and doesn't have like the There are times I can't find it, so I just use the regular one. Just wash them. So I'm putting in about, I guess that's about a teaspoon. I really need more. I think that's about all I have. See if I can get something in there. All right, so about a teaspoon of, a tablespoon of lemon juice. And I didn't put any olive oil, though it's traditional to put olive oil in here. I don't find that it needs it, but I mean, if you want to add, there's nothing wrong with adding a good full pressed. Yes, it is. Excellent for your skin. And we serve this with tabbouleh, which I will provide that recipe as well. I just won't be demonstrating it. And we put this as our base. And then I put a little bit of spinach. So I'm going to grab a handful here. And just decorate your plate, make it look really nice. I'm just putting some tomatoes, some ripe tomato in here. And unfortunately, falafels are still cooking, but that would have been added here as well.